To chug or not to chug? That's apparently the question. The term cheugy has cropped up in my life recently and for some reason keeps cropping up. According to Urban Dictionary, cheugy is a way to describe people, aesthetics or experiences that are basic. So to some this is probably an insult. The whole thing about calling someone basic is that they like very conventional or slightly out of style things. There's a war going on between millennials and Gen Z apparently. I wasn't drafted. Maybe because I'm a chug. But in general, I don't really get the generational identifiers. I sit on the latter end of millennial, and whilst I'm not a cusper, there is some overspill with early Gen Z culture. But then also the millennial age range is roughly 1981 to roughly 1995. But the experiences of someone born in 81 are completely different to the experiences of someone born in 95. Your relationship to technology plays a big part in the separation. And I don't know about anyone else, but growing up in the southwest of Scotland, you didn't just buy new technology all the time. When people are like, only 80s kids remember cassette tapes and VCRs. No, they were still around. Everything is actually around all the time because we don't recycle our materials properly, but that's a whole other story. I remember taping songs off the radio in the late 90s and early noughties. I still have videotapes. These are some of my favourite videotapes from when I was a child. This is a very wholesome double bill? Yeah, it is. It's an animation about a couple of bears featuring the voices of Helena Bonham Carter and Hugh Laurie. This came out in 1991. I may have mentioned before that for my second birthday I asked my mum for a spider. I don't know why I wanted a spider at that age. I don't know at what age I became full-blown arachnophobic, but when I was 2, I wanted a spider. Obviously, my mum wasn't going to buy me one, so she knitted me a spider, which I still have, and she also bought me this videotape. This is about a spider that just wants to be accepted by humans and other animals, and it's all about how stigmatized spiders are. It's so wholesome. There's all these like really lovely songs, and yeah, I love it. Anyway, my point is that for me, the generation separation stuff doesn't check out all the time. Is it fair to say that statistically people born between 1981 and 1995 are bound to be financially worse off than their parents? Yeah. Is it fair to say that everyone between 1981 and 1995 had the same childhood? No. But today I'm putting my issues with generation specification aside in order to find out, am I a chug? When I decided to make this video, I decided I was going to take a BuzzFeed quiz to find out whether or not I'm chuggy without checking to see if there actually is a BuzzFeed quiz to find out if you're chuggy or not. But lo and behold, there is. They'll never let me down. It's called, "It's time to decide once and for all if these trends are acceptable or straight up chuggy." I have to decide whether or not these items are chuggy or not chuggy, and then it'll tell me if everybody else who took the quiz agrees, and from there I can assess my own chuggality. First question, Ugg boots. I personally wasn't into the Ugg boot craze, mostly because they're not waterproof and I live in Scotland, and I just didn't see the point in having them. In my opinion, the trend has passed on, purely because I don't see people wearing them that often anymore. So, chuggy. Okay? 65% agree. They chug now. I never had them. I definitely don't have them now, so I guess that's a point towards not being chuggy. Chevron print. Okay. I had a chevron print footstool at one point, but I can't say I've seen the print anywhere else in a while. It might be out of fashion, so I'm going to say chuggy. Oh, more chuggy than the Uggs apparently. Another non-chug point, cargo shorts. Well, I haven't worn cargo shorts before, but not because of my opinions on fashion, but because I don't really wear trousers in general. I have a very dress-led wardrobe. Are they chuggy? Are they in fashion? I really wouldn't know. They are in fact chuggy. Anything that says, but first, coffee. Okay, I'm about to blow this chug wide open because I don't drink coffee. I've never enjoyed the bitterness of coffee. So not only do I definitely not have anything that says, but first coffee, I don't even have coffee. I don't see a lot of but first coffee signs, so it must be chuggy. Captioning a social media post about a personal accomplishment with, I did a thing. No one has done that in ages. Cheugy. The Office merch. I assume they mean the American Office. I wonder if the UK Office isn't Cheugy because of how obscure the references would be. Wernham Hog Paper Company. Slough. When the US Office was actually on TV, not a lot of people here were watching it. Well, not the masses anyway, because it wasn't like on free TV. You had to pay for it, and that was just for the select few, or at least in the social group that I was in. It's taken off in recent years here because of how accessible it is now, thanks to streaming services. So weirdly, now a lot of people are getting into The Office. So it could already be Cheugy even though it's new to some people. It is, but it's a close call. Referring to a dog as Doge or Doggo. I've never heard of Doge. I don't have a dog, so I've never really got the Doggo or the human thing. I have a cat, and I know that there's not a single cute thought inside his head. It's all selfish nihilism. Has everything in this quiz been Cheugy so far? Yeah, everything is Cheugy. Anything that celebrates rosé. Okay, well, rosé is my wine of choice. Rosé is a fabulous drag queen. But would I own something that said, yes way rosé? Cheugy. Boat shoes. Who has an opinion on boat shoes? Side parts. I think I know what the answer to this is going to be. As a person with a fringe, I don't really have to worry about the parting. But I think it's Cheugy because apparently Gen Z don't like them. Oh, 82% of people say not Cheugy. I feel like all the side parters showed up to this quiz to make sure that they're not branded Cheugy. Skinny jeans. I thought that I would know this one too. This and the last one were supposed to be part of that war I was talking about earlier on. No, not Cheugy. Maybe all this stuff about Gen Z attacking millennials is actually fake news. Using Axe body spray. What is Axe? It's a Cheugy body spray apparently. Any kind of live, laugh, love decor. I once bought someone a live, laugh, love sign back in like 2012 as a housewarming present. This image doesn't even say live, laugh, love. It says live, love, laugh. They haven't even arranged it properly. Gucci belts. Get the Cheugy out of here. And finally, anything that relates to #girlboss. You know, it's a shame that girl boss was a thing because of the lack of women in senior roles. It sucks not because being a girl and being a boss sucks, but because apparently the word boss is not gender neutral. It also sucks because rather than pushing a cause, it just became a marketable phrase that was slapped across office stationery. This would appear to be Cheugy. The two things that weren't Cheugy in this quiz are the things that the internet repeatedly tells me are out of fashion. The thing is, the whole Cheugy ethos, the pointing out of things that are not trendy anymore or are basic, is just mean. Let people like what they want to like. According to the New York Times, Cheugy was coined by a teenager in 2013 and it caught on amongst her classmates and campmates. They also quoted, "Everyone in our sorority knows the word Cheugy" by one of the creators, and added that some might argue that everything about sororities is undeniably Cheugy. Is the word Cheugy now Cheugy? But then there's also this thing about cyclical trends, and we're beginning to see Y2K and early noughties fashion resurface again. What's popular now will go out of fashion and then I suppose become Cheugy. Then it'll become retro and people will ask, oh, do you still have one of those from back in the day? And then something authentically from that time becomes valuable as things move into being vintage. So Cheugy is just a stage in the long process of existence. I can't see myself bringing this into my day-to-day vocabulary, or shaming anyone for liking stuff. We should invent a word so that if someone's like, oh, that's so Cheugy, you can just be like, I'm not worried about whether other people find me cool. Maybe just being Cheugy is that. What do you think? Is Cheugy pointless or is it here to stay? Thank you for watching my video today. If you enjoyed it, then you already have the tab open and you can just hit like and subscribe for free. And of course, if you know someone else who would enjoy this kind of content, then share this with them. Start your own YouTube channel, direct everybody over here, make stand videos, make playlists, or however you want to share it is fine. See you next time.
Bye.